and they were making fun of me because I had special abilities. I had telekinesis.
He was going through a lot in his personal life.
And he comes up and he holds out his hand like this. All the bullets come down.
David was 1.4 to 5 million in debt to the IRS.
We are screwed, man. I did not deserve to go through what I went through. I did not deserve to be.
Party possibly did shoot himself in the head.
Why is it that 12 to 14 different scientists or ufologists have went missing all of a sudden? And where does David Wilcock fall into this? Now, if you take a gander over at what most creators are talking about, they reference Wilcock as a scientist. And you can see here on WFF News, and I'm not picking on Danny, she's very good at what she does, but if you check out what she's doing, look at this thumbnail here. Dead scientist sounds alarm on Trump. So what they're basically implying, her and her partner here, James Lee, that he's a scientist, which is categorically incorrect. He isn't a scientist. He's a ufologist, and he's kind of just a talking head. I'll get into more details in a second, but they're framing it as if he is part of this 12 to 14 or 15 dead scientists that have popped up recently. And I want to just pinpoint exactly where the conspiracy lies. Now, if you talk about David Wilcock and you visit his Twitter account, you'll see he refers to his followers as family. So right away you start going, that's odd. Dear family, right? Dear family, over and over again. Creators like Danny Love and Lee and all of these people are saying that it was this last post before he was unalived where this is why they got to him. He was talking about this kind of stuff. He talks about this picture, okay? The picture of this Christ-like reinterpretation that Trump put out. He even goes, is this latest bloody satanic video of Trump circulating today actually real? There has been amazing twists in the story, and I have decided we need to engage this head on, no fear. He did have a positive view, and he wanted to share it. He was live streaming pretty regularly before he passed. So to me, when I see this information, or even the things he talks about, which we're gonna get into in a second, I don't feel as if he had any special knowledge that would have warranted him being offed, okay? These are things that we all talk about. I've covered the Trump thing, all these other creators have as well, but there's nothing really big about what he was saying. And if you really look into his website, it's called divinecosmos.com, you'll see that he talked about a lot of really fringy stuff, like Ascension 2000. He talked about how he was the reincarnation of Edgar Casey. I'll even show you this picture where he put up a picture of himself as a young man and Edgar Casey, and he really believed this. And I'll just scroll for you to see the science of peace, enterprise mission, what is my purpose. So he was into the New Age movement, essentially. This isn't my first run-in with this guy. I was well aware of him in 2010. I followed him very closely before he even got onto Ancient Aliens as a talking head. And I kind of dug his stuff. He was a good presenter, but he lost me when he started talking about reincarnations. He started talking about this idea that in 2012, we were all going to transcend this physical reality. I was like, yeah, this guy is definitely trying to recruit a cult. Now, for all the people that are saying, Steve, the guy just passed away, I do want to say God bless the dead, and I want to send nothing but love to his family, which from my research, he is kind of estranged from them. But I think it's important to get the truth out as everyone starts to push him into this class of person that is just not accurate. I want to show you some videos that to me are semi-disturbing, but it shows the fact that he wasn't well mentally and he was going through a lot in his personal life that would have warranted him maybe taking his own life.
These things were done to me against my will. The people who me did so against my will. They did it in front of large audiences, and they were making fun of me because I had special abilities in this ultimate personality that they created. I had telekinesis. And so if you go back to some of the dreams that I posted online in 1997, there's a dream where I'm in my school cafeteria and everyone in the audience is in a robe and they all have their way with me, make them a banana sandwich. And I didn't realize when I wrote that dream down that it was true, but that I couldn't remember because the memories were taken away from me. But now I do. I don't want to go into this a whole lot more, but it explains why I've been so committed to my path of justice and freedom, why I will not let this go on, why I do not support these people. I did not deserve to go through what I went through. I did not deserve to be. And I will not stop. I don't care what happens to me anymore, folks. Now that I know what they did, I don't care.
Now, obviously, that was a very heavy clip, but you can see he was dealing with a lot of internal trauma, and that's sort of what I'm getting at. The next clip I'm going to show you is from a few different live streams, which shows really that wasn't a one-off situation, that this had been a recurring theme on his live streams and in his life.
This is true, folks. You need to stop this. Some things I don't mind talking about. I don't like talking about this. What the hell are you doing, dude? You're going to lose. You're not going to win. It's inevitable. We already know because the future timeline is fixed. This particular timeline that we're on leads to your defeat. There is no getting around that. You are not being in integrity, but you don't care. But if you don't do this. We are screwed, man. You think this is all natural? You think nobody's coordinating any of this stuff? You think I want to talk about this? You think I want to be up here on this camera talking about this shit? Why was I walking out the door of my house in the middle of the night hundreds of times as a child, and I couldn't remember where I was going? And he comes up and he holds out his hand like this, and Agent Smith shoots at him. All the bullets come down. You know, the villain Agent Smith is very, very powerful. That moment where the hero is able to transcend death.
Now, as you guys can see there, this isn't a picture of a man that's exactly mentally stable going into his the final days of his life. You know, a lot of what I saw in that last portion was reminiscent of Jordan Peterson. Remember when Jordan Peterson was going through the mental break? I think he may be still struggling. He's been away from the limelight now. But he would talk about things that are seemingly non-emotional, and he would start breaking down into tears, right? This instability in the mind to maintain structure in your thoughts and to divorce them from physical emotion. Now, I'm in no way a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I did know of this guy for a long time. For a lot of years, he manipulated his audience to believe that things were going to happen and that we were going to be saved and that he was going to help lead us to this special place. He was a grifter. And I'm not saying he was a bad person in the classical sense, but he was a man trying to get ahead. Maybe he did have multiple personalities and that led to him doing this, but we can't just write off the fact that he took advantage of people. Now, it's also important to note, David was 1.4 to 5 million in debt to the IRS. He had tens of thousands of dollars in debt elsewhere. Now, you know this can put a lot of stress on an individual. This guy's poor wife left him years back. He gave millions to an aerospace company called Stravati Aero. They're facing multiple challenges, most notably a 2003 federal civil RICO lawsuit. One of the other things that really stood out is he claimed he was talking to the archangel Michael, who told him to bathe in his own urine and who evolved from the ancient Egyptian Ra. I can substantiate that because I remember him talking about this evolution from Ra. David Wilcox's family put out a message online that said that he had taken his own life, and I just wanted to show some footage to help tie this thing together so that people didn't get the wrong thought process on what really happened to him. He was a complicated man who went through a lot in his life, I'm sure, and no one becomes this way for no reason. Hey guys, so while we were editing this video, a new TMZ article came out that has a dispatch audio that I wanted to include in this video. So let's take a listen to that and see exactly what the officers have to say.
640-528. Party said sorry and then disconnected.
Copy, and we're on the house. Hold all traffic, hold the traffic, he's got a gun.
Copy, there's code 3 on county law at 1104.
Shots fired.
Copy, shots fired, and all other traffic can go law 2. All other traffic law 2, code 3 continues.
Here, I'm grabbing a rifle. He still got the gun to his head. Looks like he fired a test round.
Copy, gun to his head, fired a test round at 1105.
Let me get a couple more units with a shield. Male looks like he shot himself in the head, but I'm still concerned about this house.
Party possibly did shoot himself in the head.
So as you guys heard there, it was established that he had a rifle, he fired a test round, he shot himself in the head with the rifle, but they were cautious about pursuing the house because they didn't know if there was someone else there that might be armed as well. So it took a cautionary approach to the house. It says here that Wilcox made a disturbing 911 call Monday morning telling dispatch, "I need to leave and I will be to the left of the house," while also opening up about ongoing money troubles and health issues. God bless the dead. I hope he's resting easy now and that he's finally found some sort of peace, because it was obvious going through those last live streams that he was not a happy person and he wasn't in a good way. For all the creators who are profiting off of his likeness and framing him as someone that he really wasn't, I think it's disingenuous, and I think a little bit of research would have went a long way. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will be live streaming sooner than later, so keep an eye out for those. I'll see you guys in the next one.